I'm having a little trouble here because I've been armed robbed 3 times and I've been shot.
Yeah, I thought you'd have a better story. How much time do we have? Do you want to say that for another podcast or tell more?
We got about 20 minutes still.
What are you talking? What kind of time zone do you live in?
We started about 10:15. It is 11:03 now.
So you just fail at math?
Well, it's still about 20 minutes. We talked for about 15 to 20 minutes before we started the podcast. You gotta remember that.
All right, so tell us about getting shot.
Well, I'm not gonna. I've already told that story. I'm gonna tell you about my robberies because I did get shot during one of the robberies.
Are these robberies that happened against you or the people that you robbed?
No, they happened against me.
Okay.
We'll leave those for another one.
The one that sticks out the most vivid because the other 2 of them were just give me your money. They push me up against a car, take my money, and run away. That kind of deal. The one that was most vivid was one of my first jobs I ever had. I used to work at a movie gallery when I first started school. And training night, December 18th. I remember it was December 18th. I was about 2 hours into my shift, and I was on the computer because they had like computer training manuals that you had to go through after you got hired, to kind of brush you up and kind of get you used to the store policies. I was doing that. That's all I had to do that first night. I didn't have to check movies in, clean shelves, or anything like that. I had to do my training manual. Well, about 10 o'clock at night, 3 black guys come in. One has a German Luger. That's the first thing I noticed.
Damn.
He went old school.
It's hardcore.
He went old school. Okay.
He was the ringleader. He had like a red sash over his face and like a green jacket.
I thought you were
going to rob
his
somebody
arm
with a
like he's
Mosin Nagant.
SS. Dude, the black SS came to your house.
No,
Did the other guy have an Elmer Fudd musket by chance?
No. The other guys had 38 specials. They had little stub-nosed 38, little Saturday night specials. But the lead guy, the one that did all the talking and ordering, he had a German Luger. It stood out to me because when I see them, I didn't really believe it was happening because this is the first time I've been robbed. And the first was usually when it stands out anyway. But he comes in. I think he's playing. I seriously do. Who comes and robs you with a fucking German Luger?
Excuse me, sir. You'll have to come back with a Glock.
I thought it was like a water gun or something. Like people, like because they came in like kids, like they were like bouncing, like come on, give me some money, I'm not trying to stereotype here, but you ever see like a black gangbanger on TV, like standing in front of an apartment complex? That's how these guys acted. And basically, they took us right into the back room. The store we were in, it wasn't very big. It was basically like a big rectangle, and on the upper right-hand corner, they had like an office section with 2 bathrooms, a closet, and like a manager's office. Well, the manager's office had the safe in, and they basically took me into the bathroom and had me get down on my knees, and the guy, basically had his 38.
Oh yeah, I like where this is going.
I gotta go.
I gotta stay. Tell me more, Wings.
I wasn't
so you're
thinking
down on your knees in the bathroom.
I wasn't thinking very clearly at all because I wasn't afraid of guns. I'd been around.
It was
guns
your
most
first
of my
time.
life. Yeah. So the first thing I do is go right into my pockets. Here, you want the keys?
How big was it?
What? It's a 38
gun.
special.
The gun. What else?
Little 6-shooter, 38 special.
All right, go ahead, Wings.
But I'm not. Normally, you wouldn't want to go into your pockets with a guy with a gun to your head. I didn't know if it was loaded or not. I was kind of just, I'm just going to do what they tell me. I don't give a fuck about this company's money. Here, you need me to help you take it out to the car with you. I don't want to strain your back. But so the first thing I do is I go in my pocket and I grab the register key because I had a register key to my register and it had like $400 in it, something like that. Assorted bills. Because the company at that time didn't have like a drop money policy. Generally, if you work in like a retail or a restaurant type environment, you have to drop your money after it gets so many things. Like you get a $100 bill, you have to drop it in the safe. Well, movie gallery at that time didn't have that kind of policy. So I figured he'd want that kind of money because there was probably $400 in my register.
Mm-hmm.
They'd have one of them. They went straight to the safe, which is stupid. But all this is going on, it starts to sink in what's happening, and I'm thinking I actually might die here. And at the time, I had forgotten my pocket knife because I didn't want to bring my pocket knife to me to work because it was one of my first jobs.
Yeah, I'm sure your pocket knife would have been fine against 2 snub-nosed 38s and a Luger.
Well, I was getting to the point where I was fearing for my life. Like, these guys might actually kill us because I'm hearing in the background, open that safe or I'll blow your fucking brains out and shit like that. The main guy, he was ruthless. The other 2 guys were scared, especially the guy holding me up. The guy holding me up had like a green, like, Hutch-type jacket. Looked like a Vietnam vet kind of guy, but he was a black guy, and he had a red sash over his face as well.
Did he have an epic beard?
No.
Then he's no Hutch, baby.
No.
Go ahead, please.
Because I was wanting my knife bad. It was like, I'm not going to try this bare hand. And, because I have no fighting skills whatsoever. I have no M&A experience. I need a weapon.
Weapons are better than MMA anyway.
Yeah. Well, needless to say, everything worked out. They got the money, which they got like $300 worth out the safe, and they bounced out the back door. But that one always stuck with me. But I never had nightmares about it for some reason.
You don't know. I mean, I've had other things. I've lost fights pretty ruthlessly. It's not my only traumatic experience, but.
And there goes his mic.
I felt like I came out.
I love his mic.
But that was the one.
Your mic cut out, Woody.
Oh, great story.
That is epic.
Best story ever.
And
moving on.
Let's go to the second one, though. The second one, I was actually working at Domino's Pizza. And we had certain parts of town we didn't go to at night, but we went to in the daytime. And during the daytime, you didn't think you was going to get robbed. Well, as being a police delivery boy, you only carry $20 worth on you at one time, given whatever money you get on your run. So if you catch a guy at the end of 4 runs, he might have $200 on him, maybe. But at that point, I went to it was Cherry Hill apartment complex. It's bad right there. The place is fenced in. You ever seen the movie Candyman?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like an apartment complex like that, but not so grand scale. It's like a 3-story apartment complex. And it has a parking lot, and, they got graffiti on the walls and shit. Well, a guy hits me with a fucking 12-gauge sawed-off in the parking lot.
Damn.
He puts me on the ground. I got my head skinned up, and he takes my money. He just goes through my pants and shit. And then they run away. So I basically go back in there with an empty bag, and I'm like, yeah, we're not going back to Cherry Hill anymore.
Wow.